Hi everyone, I'm Echoes and I'm a Vtuber, and I'll be going over Gene of AI episode 11 titled Tufui. So this episode is kind of like a whole roller coaster of emotions, honestly. It's quite dark, quite light at times, but in general we kind of are going back to the main plot of Sudo-sensei looking for his mother again. So yeah, let's get started. So in the beginning we get a flashback of 10 years ago. So you can see all these hot air balloons, and then we get introduced again to Higuchi Risa, who is Sudo-sensei's assistant at his clinic. 15 years ago, humanoid. 15 years old, sorry, humanoid. So this was probably happened when she was quite young. During a trip overseas, she was on a recreational hot air balloon with her mother when it crashed. Her mother was beyond saving, but her own neural net was miraculously intact. I suppose it's the only silver lining to what happened. So what did you do? I reconstructed her body based on what we could determine from the remains of her old one. And I installed her undamaged neural net into it, but what happened? Her hair. She says her hair is the wrong color. Because you can see that before we always saw her with like a red hair, but here she's completely blonde. And in a way, we learned that her past is actually quite tragic as well. Maybe her hair color was altered at early enough age that she never noticed it. And then she's going through physical therapy to become used to her new body. Then she's talking to Sudo-sensei, and she says that mom and dad divorced right after they made me. So in a way, it kind of makes me curious about how humanoids are created. It's not like, I'm assuming it's not the typical human process. Maybe they get to decide like which hair color, which eye color, what type of body shape. I wonder if they have more freedom with that because humanoids are more, I guess, artificial. He was blonde, so she got her father's blonde hair. Guess mom had my hair changed to look more like herself after the fact. Not thrilled to find out this way though. And he apologizes because he didn't realize that was an issue. And she says that she was so selfish, she made me without asking, changed me without asking, and then died. You see that she is just mourning in her own way. And Sudo-sensei is there along the way. Then months later after that, he comes to meet her again because she dyes her hair red. And she's like, why do you care? And he's like, am I bothering you? No, I'm grateful that you handle a lot of paperwork and stuff. But you're a complete stranger. Don't know what is. I've been through similar trouble. Maybe that's why I want to help. In a way, he has similar circumstance, so I can understand that. I was raised by a single mother before ending up on my own too. Your mom passed away? No, she's in prison. We're in the same boat, we might as well help each other, right? So in a way, both of their circumstances lead them to meet each other. And then we get, let's see. Then we get the next part of the episode where she's talking with her friend. And then she meets this woman outside of her apartment who is a blonde-haired, dark-skinned lady who says that she's her sister. Humans can verify it with a DNA test, but I can't confirm it. See his face in pictures, and then she showed him the picture of because of her and her father. Yeah, and then we see what her father looks like, and then what Tufui looks like. Girl next to me is him. He adopted me, Indian raised me. To come to Japan together. She told me our father died in an accident 6 months ago. She came to Japan because she has no other family. What's your mother up to? And she mentioned that her mother died. Hoping to meet her. And then she introduced herself as Tufui, which is the title of the episode. And then he talks more about like father mentioned you a lot. An older sister crossed the sea in a country called Japan. Passed away as on my own. I suddenly felt like I need to meet you. And then you can see that Risa's meeting her friend. It's like, how did she even know you, where to find you? There are restrictions on search aren't as strict in India. You could put together a lot with just publicly available information. Kind of crazy that I guess AI can also censor things. My fate's on the clinic website. And she's like, her friend's like concerned because, she likes her and she just wants her to be safe. And she's like, have you considered just looking into her? We're both on our own, so she wants to help her out. I can tell, and she could tell she's not a stranger. May not be related by blood, but we had the same father. And then she told me stories about what her father did in India, had a wanderlust, was selfish. Father, mom had always told me about was living his life out in India. So in a way, we get this quite a cute montage of them just doing mundane stuff together. And then you can see Tufi is like, what was your mother like? She was really wishy-washy, timid, would never say no, except when she and dad split up. She said she absolutely refused to give up custody. And then you can see Tufi here, we learn more about it because she's jealous about it. Father treated me like his own personal property. I never want to live like that again. And then Risa is like, oh, you've been through a lot. That sounds hard. But from now on, you can choose to live your own life. It'll be okay and I'll help. Like, we already know each other. And then she says, I think I may have been searching for family ever since my mom died. Ninkasi says she's going to meet a friend. And Sudo-sensei is like, she's in Japan, she should do paperwork, right? And then you can see she mentioned to her, but there's an odd feeling of hesitation here. He's like, oh, that's a good idea, right? I'll take care of it, so don't worry. If she needs help, you could just ask me. But then we get this nightmare sequence where you can see Tufi right here, and then there's this cackling in the background. And it's like a nightmare. You see she's looking at Risa and has this like scowl on her face. Feels like there's definitely something wrong going on. And then you see that they're walking in the park together. And then she can catch dragonflies. She hasn't done it in a while. And then Risa would say, oh, mom would catch them all the time for me when I was young. And then her response to that is actually quite interesting. She said, like, oh, what's wrong? Then it's true, I knew it. And what? And then afterward, Tufui pretty much gets approached by these two tall men. And then Risa's like, who are they? And then you can see that Tufui's panicking here because he's trying to use Risa as kind of like a shield. And like, what's going on? And then Tufui says, this girl's trying to steal my life. I am Risa. You can tell from my brain print. Please, you have to believe me. And then you can see that Risa and Tufui are getting their brain prints checked, brain print matching. It's 100% match, which is kind of crazy. And she's like, what happened? And then Sudo-sensei explains here. Risa, do you know what a brain print is? It's an individually unique signal that can be taken from each humanoid neural net. It changes with age, but not significantly. So in a way, this is, I guess, the humanoid version of a fingerprint. Or DNA, essentially. It's a unique identifier. Comparing your brain prints, Tufui is less like your sister, but more like yourself. So in a way, it's not the same as DNA where you're genetically identical, or fingerprint as well. It's more like your minds are identical. So in a way, that definitely shows that they're related, for sure, because they literally have they think the same exact way. Their minds are, how they think are identical. And then she's like, oh, she's me? Yep. Tufui's neural net is a copy of yours. And then you see Tufui explains what happened. She says, I keep having the same dream. I'm in a place I've never seen before with your mother, catching dragonflies. But then she sees her father, and then the nightmare starts. After I'm awake, I wonder, in which place do I really belong? I'm in a place I don't belong. I couldn't explain why, but I can never shake that feeling. 6 months ago, I got an answer. This is when you can see that she's living with the father in this rundown shack in India. He's drinking, and then there's a photo. And she's like, oh man, this is not where I belong. I'm not supposed to be here. And then you see the father explains, you want to know something funny? She's cute, my Risa. I just couldn't bear parting with her. Here's so much about Risa, then why? Exactly. So I copied her neural net. Once I got here, I found a random body and created a substitute Risa. And that's you, Fui. And this is like so cruel. It's literally just him telling her, oh, you're the same have the same exact mind as my daughter. Because I just found this random body and put her mind into it, and then there you are, you existed. And you can see that she kind of goes insane at this because like it literally just invalidates her entire existence and also confirms what she kind of knew but didn't completely understand. My father didn't die in an accident, I killed him. And then Risa's like, reason you came here was because you wanted to kill and replace me? Kind of like a doppelganger kind of thing. And she's like, yeah. But I couldn't do it. Because you didn't do anything wrong. Because she still, even if she had a different upbringing, she's still in an identical mind, she still was able to make correct moral judgments because you're me. And then you can see that and then she's continuing to talk about it. So why is it like this? Why am I wrong? We're the same. The difference isn't me, but how the world treated me, because their minds are identical, right? So why am I being punished? Why me? In a way, Fui has suffered from a terribly cruel fate. Even though her and Risa have had the same mind in difficult circumstances, they definitely handle things differently based on how they're raised. So Risa here is just really upset. Sudo-sensei gives her a bit of comfort, and then we learn a bit about the humanoid intelligence duplication law. It was adopted to protect the sanctity of personalities and deal with the societal issues posed by humanoid AI reproductions. But despite that, there are people who continue to make the same mistake. So even if that law exists, people will still be breaking it. And then we get the flashback goes back to the first episode where we get just a quick recap of what happened about with Sudo-sensei's mother, about the copying of the neural net. And after that, we go back to the present time where they're eating the dessert. And then Risa asks her, like, did you ever find your other mom? Because he's looking for the original version of his mother. Or the copied version. One of them, at least. And he's like, no, not yet. Where'd it begin? The first was that he went to India to look. But in the end, I never found a single lead. If you do find her, what will you do? Think of that after I find her. I want to do whatever is best for that version of mom. Never talked this much about your search for her before. So in a way, she gets to know a bit more about him. And then you can see that he goes to that same cafe to meet with Kaoru. And he's like, what do you need? Probably guess it's about Michi's major update. Assistant is recently you're much nicer to her. And he's like, why is Michi so fixated on me? I don't know. The number of people who understand the kind of major upgrades Michi's proposing, probably only a handful in the entire world. Joking, there's no way a normal person can understand. Sudo-kun, do you seriously think that you're a normal person? What will Michi do if I don't participate in the review? Hard to say. don't exactly understand the way Michi thinks. So I guess even humanoids can't understand advanced AI. Maybe it'll end up suspending society's progress. Or maybe having someone else do it won't change the outcome at all. I will say, though, that his offer for you is actually pretty important. What offer? Michi wants to make a deal. If you join the review committee, then he'll predict where the copy with your mother's personality is. What do you say? Do you want to meet him? And then here we get Sudo-sensei again. It's like, oh, you're still here. Could have gone home. Had some work to do. It's like, oh, let's get dinner together. Don't worry about it. It's fine. There's something I need to talk to you about. It's kind of nice seeing him wear normal clothes outside of his usual outfit. It's like slightly more formal. And he pretty much takes her on a date kind of thing. You're a patient, I was your doctor. Became a nurse and came to work with me. Thinking back on how you've been helping me for a long time, there expresses gratitude. It's like, oh, what the heck's going on? And then we learn why he wanted to talk with him. You're leaving Japan, but why? This is all so sudden. And he said that, oh, I found my mother. And she's like, oh, I can go with you. It's like, nope. I leave you alone after what happened, but I need to find my mother. Risa, thank you for everything. So in a way, this is just him saying goodbye. So yeah, just this episode's honestly really good. It's pretty, it's like super impactful. We learn about Risa's backstory, about her father, about her mother, why she has no parents, and also about pretty much someone who has an identical mind, just trying to meet with her supposed original, right? But she isn't able to do anything because the original just didn't do anything wrong. And she couldn't justify doing the same thing that she did to her father, which was kill him. Then we get a bit of a recap about Sudo-sensei's background with his mother getting her neural net copied. And then we learn about him being part of the review process in order to find his mother because Michi gave him the information he needed. And then telling Risa that, oh, I'm going to close my clinic because I had to go find my mother. So in a way, it's kind of nice that in this episode, we kind of get the beginning of the end where I don't know if this series ends episode 12 because we're only episode 11 currently. But it'd be nice if we can get some loose ends tied up next episode because in general, this series has been quite episodic with covering all sorts of things. But it is nice that we finally get back to what happened with Sudo-sensei's mother. So yeah, overall, a super interesting episode about like the ethics of not really cloning exactly, but copying an identical mind. That's like so interesting because that's not really something you would typically think about, right? Like people usually think about, oh, you just genetically copy the entire body, but here's just the mind only. And even if people have the identical mind, they could still think quite differently because of their different environments and circumstances. So yeah. Anyway, thank you so much and have a good rest of your day. Take care.